welcome back to another episode of I don't know, what do we want to call this? I kind of have it like C and G and D and D and everything, but I don't know if that rolls off the tongue.
Xander and the boys. That sounds good.
Xander and the
Absolutely
boys.
not. Absolutely not. Number one, I'm not a boy.
But you're like, what about the role of boys? You know what I mean?
What about BOIS?
Yeah, that's what I
No,
mean. Like boys. Yeah.
no,
I
no.
wouldn't actually do that to you guys. I
But
would not put that.
this isn't romance language rules where so long as you have a single boy, the gender of the word changes from female to male. This isn't one of those. This is some Spanish French nonsense.
Okay, fine. Xander and the crew. Bet you halfway.
I'm okay with crew, not with your name. I am
Wow.
secondary to no bitch.
Wow.
We'll figure it. We'll workshop it. We'll eventually find something that rolls off the tongue. Speaking of Xander and also the crew, how are you, Ian? We're gonna pretend we're back at the top.
Oh no, this is all you talking about. This is a new day. I haven't talked to y'all
Yeah,
in a
new
whole
day,
week.
new day. That's what this
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, I'm doing well. This past week was great. Had a great time, and now we're here all together again, and I just feel whole once more.
Hell yeah. Soul, how's it going?
Doing good. Just enjoying and ready to play Zeroka once again.
Hell yeah, Sandy. What you got? Good.
Doing good. Excited to play as Miz after a while.
After a while, yes. It's been a long 15 minutes. Uh, and Kyo,
I'm
what you
awake.
got? You are not one of the boys. You are your own person.
I am in fact my own person. It's finally happened. I'm my own person. Am I? How was our illustrious trauma facilitator?
Good. Been working on stuff for Hallmat. We're good. This will come out way after Hallmat, so hopefully everything went great.
Yeah,
Come
wait a
back
deep
totally tan.
episode.
Yeah. All right. So I am going to now introduce this mechanic. What I do every week, every game. If any of the players want to contribute at least like a sentence or two of recap, I give them DM inspiration, and my inspiration works either of two ways. Either you can completely re-roll a d20, basically anything that falls under that category, or you can just add a d10 to your roll. That works for attack rolls, checks, whatever. If it's a d20 and it's not a damage dice, then you can pretty much use your DM inspiration on it. They absolutely stack. So everyone needs to put a custom item in your inventory at some point and just name it DM inspiration and keep track of how many inspirations you have. Pretty easy if you just do a custom item. Who would like to start off with a little bit of recap?
I'll do it the simple way. I talked to the bull who was the king, and we got information about which direction the quote unquote dragons went, since it's still not confirmed. And two of the dogs were named Scooby and Scrappy because you're a horrible person. I'll take my inspiration.
Yeah.
Also, the last session was 4 puns.
Only? I feel like I put in more, but that's fine. I'll have to up it.
Can I give one as well here?
Hit me.
All right, so we all met up at the Adventurers Guild. We were summoned because we had a mission to go on. Upon getting there, we found out that over in Direwood there was supposedly some sightings of some dragons, and they had been taking like cattle and the like. So we were on the case. We teleported over. We checked it out. We talked to the farmer who reported it. He told us that the guy who came before us had been kind of useless and had just kind of wandered off after the supposed dragons and wasn't seen again. He showed us kind of the basic direction they went. Caitlin used the ring of talking to animals and talked to the dogs and the bull, and also got a little bit extra information. Then we began to track down these supposed dragons, and then we came upon this river that led to this like lake with a cave and the waterfall and behind it and everything, and that's where we currently are in these ruins around this river and lake and things.
Everyone can see it on the map in Roll20, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
just making sure.
Mhm.
I was like, I couldn't remember if I did the light stuff on there. All right,
Yes.
hit me with some more recap. Next person.
I guess I'll go next. The adventurers of this guild went over to harass a farmer and ask him tons of questions for no reason other than to get go that way, go over there. That's where that dragon, maybe a gang of dragons, came from. And we're like, no, you're lying. It was only one dragon. What are you talking about?
You really fucking did. You really did.
No, Xander did. The rest of us were just like, okay.
I mean, if you really boil it down, he's not wrong.
And we all went to our direction, and yeah, then we encountered two hornets, two very deadly hornets. My God. And we all got into positions to attack. And Zeroka was not the smart one to stand out in the open. But it's okay.
Because we saw
evaded
no
them.
hornets, you fool.
We
No,
saw
no,
two. There were two.
there were two.
Zoroga was stunned in fear.
Yeah, he was stunned in fear as the wrestler got right into position because our quick thinking, quick action. And now we are heading onward to our next objective.
All right. Soul, hit me with that last bit of recap. What are some details that you remember?
So as these individuals who I'm working with ran away, the hornet's nest dropped, and so nothing came out besides the other two hornets that they were afraid of. And so Zeroka started to perceive that there were some sort of tracks that lead ahead, and he sort of led the party into a part where there is it seems like life is dying around him, and he's looking around right now, and he is getting ready to tell the party to keep their wits about them.
I mean, okay, so Kaylin has been with the guild for a little bit now, right? I'm not going to make you say how long, but you're probably the least new of everyone,
Mm-hmm.
would you say?
At least a few years at this point.
Yeah. So Kaylin would absolutely know that what Hanga was saying was true about it being grunt work to just go and suss out these dragon rumors. So I don't know. Do with that versus Xander's newbie excitement what you will. Because it's kind of one of those things where it's like, well, everyone important is doing stuff. Let's just send the newbies at this kind of thing, or let's not bother the higher level people. But it's fine because you are going to be leveling up soon, and then maybe you won't have to bother with stuff like this. So you are all standing in not quite a grotto, not full. It's kind of ruins, kind of a two-tiered spring. Everything is starting to die, centered around this cave that is backed up to a small hill with very steep sides, with the spring kind of tucked up against the side of it. You don't see any life really around you. A lot of dying plants. It smells awful. None of you have smelled what this smells like. Xander was kind of in the lead here. So we'll see what Xander's doing first.
Xander was just curious about whether or not there was any like text or anything on these ruins or anything like that.
Not at first glance. You would definitely have to go in deeper. Everything is kind of covered in moss and like dying plants that were once sprouting up like dandelions in between a lot of the tiles, and most of it is eroded over the years. But you're not seeing any text. But my bad, Zeroka is in front. It's the Z names for me. Xander, Zeroka. What is Zeroka doing? Not Xander.
So Zeroka, he swiftly looks back at the party, noticing the dangers that lie ahead. He's getting a bad feeling about this place, and he says to the party, "I suggest you all get ready to take out your weapons. I don't like the look of this place. It irks me."
Xander never put his rapier and dagger away after drawing them for the hornets.
Doesn't everything irk you?
Indeed, it does. But this is a little more serious as you would look around you. The plants seem to have died, and there's a lot of other things that don't look right around here.
No, you don't say. Uh, Kaylin had never actually put the sword away from the last time she summoned it. Like it is just still in her hand because she's like, no, no, no. I still don't like any of this or where any of this is going. So, um,
Okay. Everybody's been warned. I believe everybody has weapons drawn. Everyone is at the ready. Is Zeroka still gonna take the lead on this? What is everyone
Yeah,
doing?
so I'm going to roll a perception check to see if I notice anything else besides the dying plants, if that's okay
Okay.
with you.
I am also going to follow that.
Yeah, anyone who would like to, please roll a perception check.
Huzzah!
I'll roll one too.
Got a tie with the 12s, and then a 7 for Xander.
And I'm gonna break it with an 18.
18.
Somebody
Um,
don't know.
you with an 18, you're the only one that notices. Well, everything here is off. It's weird. You feel like you are being watched. All of you get the idea that you're being watched after a moment, but Kaylin notices first. At first, it seemed to be maybe something watching you. But Kaylin now feels watched from multiple directions. There's multiple things watching, and you don't know where they are because everything around here looks dead. You don't know if it's just a faint breeze that's not moving everything else. You see some of the underbrush in a couple spots, maybe some bugs moving some of the leaves. The rest of you just see dying plant life, hear the babbling of this stream, the whooshing of what would that be, like a 10-foot waterfall from the top spring feeding the bottom spring, from a seemingly sourceless spring at the top, but you haven't investigated. You haven't climbed up there to see what that is yet. There's not much to go off of, but it seems to all be centered around the spring in this cave.
Kaylin is going to glance over at Mr. Stabby and just like point at her eyes and then spin her finger around like something is watching all over the place and just kind of shrugs her shoulders like I don't know where it's coming from, but it's all over the place because they have been traveling together and therefore he should theoretically know what she's saying.
Miz just nods his head up and then pulls out his second short sword. So he has two short swords.
Double fisting it. You got it.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you like this?
You're welcome. I could be boring. I could be boring.
Uh,
You love it, don't
what?
lie.
I just like your face. And
There's worse things in life.
and Kaylin's just gonna I don't know about the rest of you, but it seems like we are very popular to multiple things, and I do not know what it is, and I do not like it. Just something here. I suggest we move cautiously and keep an eye out for traps. Ruins don't tend to give up their secrets willingly.
Who's leading the way? You going hand in hand? You can go tandem. You can hold hands, prance through the fields. It's not really a field.
Kaylin is only going to allow Miz at her back.
That's what I'm asking. What's the marching order?
I'll go first. So what Soroka's going to do is you guys see a little click of his boots and he starts hovering 10 feet in the air. And he is going to start marching forward.
I'm imagining the single most dainty, just click as he activates the boots, and it's just like so fucking just.
Fancy little wizard boy.
He said he was a hover boy. He said, "See you later, boy."
So I'm going to move right around here.
Okay. Nothing happens.
Soon I look around. Do I see anything? Nothing. Just to ask, how this river that we're seeing, obviously, is it the stream is it? How fast is it?
It's not that fast. I would call
Okay.
it babbling brook, stream, creek. Um, Nothing big, nothing fast. It's kind of blocked in areas by little bits of the ruins, so it has objects that it's kind of moving around. Um, you do see dislodged and kind of floating downstream. Another single feather. This one looks like it was just dislodged, though. It's dirty and mucky. It's probably been at the bottom of the spring, and probably some kind of debris just knocked it loose. It's not a perfectly clear stream, but
Where was that at?
it's
Sorry.
um
You could
so
ping it.
it's just started slowly drifting down. It's kind of floated up to the
Ah,
top, but it's dirty. Um
okay. Okay.
sometimes things get stuck in the creek, and then sometimes they just randomly dislodge themselves.
Gotcha. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fly up to this position right here and get on top of here.
Yep. You fly over to the ruins. This is probably about, I'd call that 20 feet up ish.
Okay.
Does that feel right? Maybe 15 feet. We'll say it's 15 feet. You are
All
able to
right.
get a better vantage point. So you are almost level with this top layer of spring. So you can see now the top layer and kind of into the dark mouth of the cave, but your dark vision doesn't go quite that far, since from where you are, it's a good 85 feet further. But this big top spring that's about 50 to 60 feet across almost, you don't see down into it. It just gets dark. There's definitely a tree that has fallen in at some point and gotten lodged in something, but you're not sure how deep this goes. Doesn't look gross, but you probably wouldn't drink that water. But this
Gotcha.
doesn't look like it's the source of whatever this acrid smell is.
Soroka then peers at the group and he says, "I see a cave. It looks like there's nothing dangerous out here yet." Uh, And he's still looking around, sort of noticing, that there probably are things looking at him at this moment, but he's still keeping his wits about him.
Xander kind of walking a little bit further in, kind of looking around, and comes a little bit here, a little bit closer to the ruins, and he uses his dagger to like knock off some of the moss and overgrowth and stuff like that to try and just get a better look at the wall of the ruins here.
Okay. Take a look at this moss. It's normal moss. It's moss you've seen plenty of times growing up in Direwood. Grows on stones, trees, whatever. There's nothing outlandish about it except that it's dying. And moss in the wild is pretty hardy. And I mean, you're from here. You know that it's not easy to kill wild growing moss. But it's starting to brown out.
Am I getting any sense from this the actual ruins themselves? Like, are they? Can I tell like what kind of architecture it is? Am I seeing any type of language or wording or anything on there now that I've cleaned some of them off or anything like that?
Um, Looks old, dwarven maybe. Maybe a mix. With the dragons in charge at the time of this, um, it was a big amalgamation, and not everyone was separate. Like, dwarves worked with elves on stuff, so there's not that hard line between the styles of architecture. So a little bit
Gotcha.
of Art Nouveau, a little bit of Art Deco, you know. These used to be beautiful. You can tell just based on the base that is left. Um, you're kind of getting a courtyard feel. Maybe a temple. Maybe this was definitely a wall. This was somewhere people walked. There were paving stones at some point that you're all seeing. You're all noticing this. Little patches of not cobble, but nicely laid out paving stones and things like that. This was nice once upon a time. Odd to be in the middle of the forest, but very nice. Hundreds of years
Gotcha. Well, Xander, after kind of getting a better look and everything, will kind of double back and kind of go check out the area a little bit better here. Just kind of looking around, keeping his wits about him, both weapons drawn.
Okay. What's Kaylin doing?
Just trying to find the source of the eyes and stuff, cause that's kind of creepy. And she inch her way forward, following in the in the wake of the rogues, cause it's like I don't like this not at all. This fucking weird. Um, I hope Haral isn't dead because that'd be a very unfortunate source of the smell. Um, and it's just going to follow the bend of the creek, keeping an eye out for like crevices or things big enough that a dog can get through.
Okay. As you're kind of moving forward, you get a little bit further forward. Let me go ahead and move your tokens just a smidge. Well, what's the marching order here? This little cluster. I know Zeroka is up high, a little bit further east and a little bit north. There's kind of the three of you on this little elbow of the stream. Is anyone in particular out front? You all just kind of going at your own pace?
Xander would be kind of not hustling, but like will be, not taking his time by any.
I'll go first.
Go
I'll head up.
Okay, move your token a little bit for me. Okay, that's where you go.
Yeah, I'll just move here, keep it one lane.
You take that one last step to your right. And that's when you realize what it is that has been watching you as it attacks you.
Nice.
You see what you thought was a dead bush, just, more dead plant life, suddenly spring to life. And like a feral stack of sticks, a twig blight comes for your fucking ankles.
Fucking
And
Pet
then
Cemetery style.
yeah, so it is small. It is an evil little pile of sticks. It is evil. It is coming for you. This is not the first time you have seen blights. They're very rare, but you know exactly what this is. You are from Direwood. It's rare, but you know what it is. And it's coming for Mrs. Ankle. I guess Mrs. in first. Xander knows what it is. Sorry. And then you see more springing to life up to the left side, these stairs that loop around to the left side of this upper spring. More and more are starting to move forward, and they're going to join in the attack. And I would like everyone to roll initiative as what feels like a swarm of twig blights awakens and attacks. There we go. Okay, everyone did that real fast. Let's see what the twig blights get. Oof. Okay. Okay. Not bad for the twig blights. They got a dirty 20 for their initiative. Um,
Oh no.
Did you roll well, or is their shit just high?
I rolled real good. I used my big chunky dice that has the liquid core that usually rolls like shit. I was like, fuck it. This is the first D20 I saw in my. Well, now it rolled a 2, but first time I rolled. I'm not going to tell you what the modifiers are,
That's
but
fine.
that's what it is. So combat time. Xander, you are out front. You are first. What you doing?
How many more are we seeing? I see the one right in front of us here.
So there's one in front of you, kind of front and right of Ms. I'll put a little dot on them so you can see them because they do kind of blend in with the map. And then there are 3 more, kind of northwest over here, and I will put dots on them as well. I'll make them different color dots. So
Can I get? I can't remember. What did we say during our session 0 about flanking, about getting advantage and stuff like that?
Conga line.
That what we agreed on.
Yep. Opposite sides.
Yeah, he's going to. Then just gonna pop around this blight here and try and get an old 1-2 on him.
Give him that old what for?
22.
Absolutely hits. It's a fucking stack of sticks. Its AC is not great.
That's gonna be. Let me look at this real quick, see what it actually is supposed to be here. Okay, so it should be 6 plus 8, so it should just be the 14. I don't know why it rolls all that extra stuff every time I roll, but it should just be the 14.
Cool. You obliterate this. Like, you slash, and it's like a cartoon where you, like, stand there after you slash, and then it just falls into, like, 1,000 little chunks. It didn't even have a quarter of that many HP that you just dealt. It is
Nothing personal, kid.
a stack of twigs. It is so fine that you're like, if you didn't know that's what it was, you wouldn't know. It just looks like some teeny tiny little twigs. You're like, oh, wood shavings, cool. Anything else in your turn?
1.
Yeah, actually, because since I specifically said I had both my rapier and my dagger drawn, I am going to use my bonus here to actually throw the dagger at the next closest one to me here.
Okay. Hit me with that roll.
So, 13.
That's exactly what you needed.
Nice.
You hit this stack of sticks. I'm assuming the one I put the red dot in closest to you, right? Yeah, I think it would be difficult for you to not kill it.
Yeah.
Honestly, if we're being honest here, most of you.
I did max damage, so it's 8.
Yeah, I'm not saying y'all min-maxed. I'm just saying it's real hard for y'all to not do a buttload of damage. So yeah, you got another stack of wood shavings over there. As it just kind of shatters, and it's like the bark stays in place as its skeleton twigs just go flying. Like a cartoon, like, you know, when you knock your socks off kind of thing. It's like that, and then it's just wood shavings.
And with my last 2 squares of movement, I'm just kind of skirting the river here and kind of getting cover.
Back down to Ms. You got it. Kaylin, what you got for me?
Just going to look at the last one. And since she's got the sword in her hand, she's just going to like rotate her wrist around and like slash through the air. And is just going to cast Eldritch Blast at the demon twigs. And the good Lord said, "Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna hit."
Yeah, I was gonna say it's gonna be a little embarrassing.
23.
Yeah, that fucking hits.
Yeah. 10 points of damage.
Yeah, so you Eldritch Blast, and this beam of force energy goes through it, and it's like, and it's just dust left in its wake as it is just exploded.
Kaylin
Was
is
it
going
green
to
or
just
the purple dot?
the green one. Yeah.
It doesn't really matter that much, but yeah, there you go. Green is dead. What else you
And she's
got
just
for me?
going to the end of the sword. um that'll be it. Just one Eldritch Blast. Mr. Stabby, I left one for you to stab.
She sure did. On the next round, here's the fun part.
Oh no.
Not only do more of them appear up here, kind of in this little grotto area, but something different than just a twig blight kind of peels itself out from behind. And it is a needle blight, which is much bigger, a little bit more threatening. And they are all going to make their way towards our hapless heroes. Let me double check. Because I think they're slow as fuck, if I remember right. Where did their box go? 20 feet. Okay. So they cannot reach you on this turn. But boy,
Oh,
are they
no.
coming. They are. Hold on. I think it would be technically back one more.
I'm glad I backed up a little.
Yep. You did good with that. The fun part is the needle blight is faster. Wait. Let me just triple check. Well, he was pretty far back there. So he gets almost to you. There is still a 5-foot buffer. But you are now seeing there's a lot of spots, a lot of dead and dying foliage, a lot of potential places where more of these baddies can pop out of. But at least they're not killing you. Ms.,
Yeah.
what you
We're
got?
killing them.
Yeah, they seem to be mostly easy.
I am going to move up at the Needle Blight. Gonna target him, and I'm going to attack him with my short sword. Where is it? There we go.
Yeah, 13, exactly what you needed.
All right, so
Yeah. You kill it before that, even that 8th sneak attack. You didn't even need the full 5 with that first damage piercing. It is they have spoiler alert, little meta knowledge here. They have 4 HP, but there's a lot of them.
So AOE's
Oh wait,
is what
no,
she's telling us.
you were targeting the needle blight. I'm sorry. I was back mentally on the others. The needle blight, you still do. Hold on, math. That's 13 damage.
yep, 13.
Yep, you still kill the needle blight.
Hey.
So yeah. I mean, it's dead. So you stab it and it kind of like quivers for a moment and you hear all of the like thorns inside of its body kind of like rattling for just a moment before it collapses. What else you got?
Using my offhand weapons, as I have 2 short swords, I'm going to attack the not the needle blight, the blight next to him.
Little
The
twig
twig
blight.
blight.
Hell yeah. Double fisting. Give me that
Double
attack.
fisting.
13 just hits. Yeah, that 5 damage kills it. It's dead. Another little pile of twig dust. Anything else on your turn? You've still got some movement, and there are 2 there. Oh, I never moved that guy. It's fine. I'll just move him right there. Give him halfway.
I'm gonna move right here, and I'll end my turn.
Okay. Alrighty. So then it's Zeroka. 17 and still somehow last in initiative. That's how good everyone rolled at initiative. Like, I've never seen 17 be the lowest. Crazy. You guys are crazy.
So Zeroka is going to simply fly a little bit above the water right here, still 15 feet in the air. And he's going to simply blast this individual right here.
You got it.
And with a ray of frost. Oh, whoops, hold on. I got to hit first.
An 11 doesn't quite hit. You're moving a little quick through the air, and this thing is small. Like it is small. It is a stack of twigs, and a lot of it just kind of breezes right past it as it is like running. It is sprinting as fast as its teeny tiny little baby Groot legs can take it. And you just hear it go, yeah, as it's like running towards you.
Oh god. Yeah, so I simply fly up 10 more feet with the rest of my movement. So I'm at 25 feet in the air.
All right, unless you have anything else, we're back up to Xander.
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Xander, you've got 3 baddies left.
Can kind of get all up in their grill here, seeing how quickly these guys are just kind of exploding into twigs. He doesn't seem extremely threatened by them, so he's just going to run up and just make an attack on the purple one to my left there first. Actually, no, I'm going to attack the green one first.
Okay, the green one to the north. You got it. Step over that pile of needles that once was.
That crit fail though.
Oh. So I don't like. I know a lot of DMs. You get a nat 1 on your roll, and something real bad happens. I'm not gonna make you drop your weapon or anything. I'm just gonna remind you how silly you look, missing a little stack of twigs that everyone else is taking down pretty much no problem, and you kind of swing, and it just sticks its little twig tongue out at you as it just leaps over your blade and just makes a little bit of a fool of you. You're not hurt, but your pride might be just as
Alright, well,
taunts you.
I'm gonna try and get it with my dagger then. I have 2 daggers, so I guess for my free action, I would pull the other one out and then attack it with the dagger.
Yep.
Dash batter, and I can literally not do less than 4 damage. So
Why does it have like a blue?
I think
thing there?
the 7 is is to show that it failed.
yeah,
Okay, that's what it was.
the blue 7
Oh.
that I initially rolled was my crit fail.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. Yeah, the 17. Yeah, you just reduce this little guy to smithereens as he tries to jump over that second one, and instead you catch him in the forehead, and he kind of, as you drive in your dagger, just shatters.
And I will kind of step over here just to get kind of behind this one, and that'll be my turn.
Alrighty, we got Kaylin next.
So the purple one is still alive, right? The one that's directly in front of Xander?
Correct. So there's 2 purples left. I'm gonna turn that one to yellow. So there is just south of Xander, who is now moved further north. There's a purple one that is, what is that, like 20 feet from you, and then 15 feet kind of northwest of you is that yellow one.
Well, considering Xander so kindly set it up, I'm going to conga line to get advantage on the purple one.
Almost
And
like
just,
he intended it.
right? And she's just going to like take the sword and is just like flourishing it for no fucking reason because why not? It's in her hand.
Just a warlock over here flourishing a sword.
That is fucking unnecessary and I love it. I just rolled a natural
So
20.
okay, I'm assuming you can't do less than 4 damage with that.
I mean, look at
Let
it.
me look at your.
Yeah, no. That's
You
at the
cannot, even if you used your teeny tiny little dagger, you could not do less than 4 damage.
cool. And as she's walking forward, just flourishing and just haha, she just does a little twirl with it and just coup de grace where the head would be.
Yeah, there is the swiftness of this strike just chopping its head off. There's a moment where it's still kind of moving forward, and as it takes one more step forward, its head just tilts back and just floom, dum, 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 onto the ground, and its body seems to be taking one last step and just dramatically falls over as you killed it
Cool.
so fast that it didn't even realize it was dead.
This green one is still alive, right?
No, sorry, I was trying to go in and remove the dots from the living ones, and it's not letting me select that, and I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. All right.
Oh,
Well,
wait, the green one is dead. Yeah,
yeah,
I
she's
just
just
can't.
going to stop. She's just going to stop here and just be like, Xander, my friend, woo, wrong accent.
Try again. Retcon.
I was like, whoops, wrong one. Xander, my friend, I appreciate your contributions to this day. And she just kind of pats him on the shoulder as she walks by and like keeps an eye on if there's any more of the little fuckers coming out.
There is only the purple and the yellow that you see at this moment. You seem to have lured out most of the ones close enough to sense you in this area.
She
Anyway.
just killed that
I thought I
last
killed the
purple one,
purple
right?
I thought you killed.
The
Sure.
purple one.
I have lost track.
Yeah, I killed the one to my right and then moved above that one, and then she conga line and killed the one below me.
That sounds right. I probably just forgot to put an X. So there's one left. And that is its turn, and it's still like charging forward at Ms. And it's kind of like you hear this little battle squeak out of it, and then it's kind of looking around, seeing all of its comrades are dead, and it kind of like staggers its last few steps towards Ms. like, uh-oh, as it gets a natural 1. And just kind of falls flat on his face, and then kind of looks up at Ms. and just starts trying to scooch backwards, just a little bit, and it scooches back about 10 feet. No, I guess it's fallen and it's very slow, so I'm only going to give it 5 feet, which is not enough. As it looks up at you and you see fear in its eyes. Ms., it is your turn.
I walk to it. I walk to the front of it. And I take out a dagger and try to stab it through. Not dagger, sorry, short sword.
Yeah, give me that. Roll to hit. Finish him. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. 21 to hit, 9 piercing damage. Fucking dead. I mean, technically mercy because you kill it so fast. It's still like frozen in place for a moment, and then its head just kind of falls off. So it didn't even realize. It just died. No pain. Only sleep forever.
Only Zul.
And as far as you all can tell, that is it. You don't see anything else moving around you, and we're gonna pop out of initiative.
Xander keeps his weapons drawn, goes and picks up his dagger that he had thrown and obliterated the one twig blight with, and is just like, "Keep your guards up. I have a feeling we're not out of the woods yet."
I didn't even make that pun. That was not me.
I own it.
The look of resignation on Kyo's face right now.
So much.
I totally own it. That was me. But yeah, Xander will just keep his weapons drawn and will be kind of keeping an eye out as he kind of approaches these stairs over here.
Kaylin is going to just. Does she still feel like the eyes on her the way she did before they all attacked?
You still got just a smidge of adrenaline because there's that initial, oh shit, there's a lot of them around us. And then you just started obliterating them, and it became, I don't know, maybe I'm projecting a little bit, fun for you all because it was so easy to just slash and kill them. And it was, like training day kind of thing back when you were just younger. So it's no longer that adrenaline. Amusing maybe. You still feel a little watched, you think. You're not sure. It's hard to tell how many. There's also still right next to you now is that waterfall that is making a lot of noise. So there is a loud whooshing in one of your ears. You are occasionally getting splashed with like just teeny tiny little droplets kind of coming from the waterfall. It's hard to tell. You
Okay.
don't think they're all gone. But in this spot, cleared them.
I do believe we should take care. I don't think that was all of them. But care is a strong word at this. Maybe just don't let them get that close. So, Zaroka, are we going to talk about that little that are we going to talk about it? Were you just having a flight
The
day?
one miss. I must ask, how often have you shot any cantrips?
Today? One.
Yes, let's talk about Soroka's miss. That was horrible. Yeah, his miss, not mine. His.
You had the high ground.
Indeed. Now, suppose we continue on. And let's not waste time, or else more blights will come up and bite you in the ass.
Why are you looking at my ass? I know it's fantastic, but I'm not interested. I humbly request you keep your eyes off of my ass.
As she's
Thank
just
you.
talking, Zaroka just flies over her and jumps onto the cliff.
If you trip and die, I will laugh at your corpse.
You get up onto this lip about, what did I say, like 15-ish feet up.
Yep.
at the edge of the spring next to the waterfall. And you look in, and you can't really see the bottom of this spring. The water is mostly clear, like I said, but it appears to be very, very deep.
And I still can't see inside the cave. Is that correct?
You are now 55 feet from the entrance. It looks like a pretty normal cave. If anything, what you can see is perhaps that very thin, very faint, awful smelling fog that is kind of coating the ground. Seems a little bit thicker there. Like maybe it's slowly wafting out from inside. Maybe. It's hard to tell.
Hmm. I do fly over and I get a little bit closer, still hovering over. How, first of all, from the bottom, from where the cave is, how high is the cave from what I can tell? The top.
The mouth of the cave is probably about 10 feet up.
Okay.
Um,
I was gonna say Standard's making his way up the staircase.
okay. Are Ms. and Caitlin gonna head up too? Okay. You start heading on up. As you kind of get a little bit higher, there's a couple more little twig blights, but I feel like it's safe to assume you just kind of annihilate them as you walk past, right? Do we need to jump back into initiative?
I don't know. I feel that's safe to assume.
Yeah.
literally, my dagger doing the least amount of damage it can do one shots.
So it we're gonna say you know slash maybe twice on the speedy little fuckers. But you clear that out and you begin to feel that you're not being watched as much. You were definitely clearing out most of them, and you're not sure if all of the eyes you feel on you are just all of these little blights or if there's something else. But it's lessening, at least. But Zeroka, looking into the cave, you can see that the water from the spring kind of overflows. So everyone that cannot fly is going to have to wade through. It only gets to about 2 feet deep in the very center. You can probably get by with just soaking your boots, getting maybe 6 inches of water if you hug the edges of it. It's very uniform cave opening. Like it's old, so it doesn't look like it was ever, tiled or anything. But this looks like perhaps it was a natural cave at some point, but the entrance has probably been widened with magic at some point. Um, you do see the water goes into it just a little bit, pools inside of the entrance a little, and then it just looks like it goes deeper, and there is more cave beyond.
Caitlin is gonna wade through the water and then take the left hand and just kind of drag it through the air down her body, and it's just like all of the muck and the water and everything just kind of dissipates, and she's just I am not a fan of caves. No. Water wet boots are like the single most annoying thing to walk in.
They really fucking are.
I don't know. Walking in like glass is pretty annoying.
Yeah, I can see that. So everyone heading into the cave?
Yeah, so I'm just gonna go ahead and head towards the
Yep.
mouth of the
I am
cave here.
still going to be flying, like hovering over the water.
Okay. You all go into the cave. It is dark in there. Only one of you does not have dark vision though, and that is your human. Mr. Stabby does not have dark vision.
Kaylin is going to just grab his hand and put it on her shoulder
Uh,
and just give it a pat. It's like, we've been through this before. We know how this works.
I mean, I have a lantern, so
I was about to say all of the magic, and there's lanterns, and there's torches that you get through the guild, and you're just like, yep.
just gonna let somebody hold my hand and guide me through. I have
Yep.
a lantern, so it's a bright light within a 30-foot radius.
Okay, you now emit on the map a 30-foot radius of bright light.
All
So,
right.
As you go in, there is kind of a pool of water. You can kind of skirt the edges so you don't get too deep into it. It only goes a few feet at the deepest. There's another kind of crack in the wall where there seems to be another source of water. But there's not much flow. So this doesn't seem to be the only source of the spring. Like there's not much of a current leading out. But you look around, there's like some dead bushes kind of to the left and to the right. And leading up, there is northwards a small cave kind of where it branches off from this slightly larger cavern. And then there is more to the left. I do want everyone to make a perception check.
Big money, no whammies, no whammies.
Hey, let's go, rogues.
Hey, I got a
That's
natural 20 for Xander. Nice.
18 for Kaylin.
18. All right.
3 for Miz.
So we got a 3, 6, 22, and 18.
No, 23. You mean for Miz?
Oh, 23. Okay, I just heard the 3. I was like, rip,
Oh
that
no,
sucks.
23.
23. That's better.
That's my fourth crit tonight. And that's
Y'all are
rolling
rolling.
that's rolling on D&D Beyond. That's not even using my own dice.
I know, like you can't even cheat with that. Like it's all connected up through the interwebs. So yeah, with your natural 20, Xander sees and is able to quickly dispatch a few more twig blights.
I was gonna say, like, as soon as we came in here, that I throw my dagger at those bushes.
Yeah.
Those bushes.
I mean, the fun part is they came with the map, so I can't even like remove them from the map. So you have dispatched there's like a little cluster of twig blights. From what you can tell with the natural 20, there is definitely a smell of death. Like as you step in, it's feels like you're stepping into a different air pocket than the air outside. Like there's still that awful acrid smell that is getting a little bit worse that you can't quite put your finger on because you've never smelled it before, but rot and decay, a hint of mold in places as you kind of glance around and you're pretty sure there's mushrooms in a few places that at least explain that scent. But something in here has died and it smells horrible. And it is now that acrid smell is starting to burn your nose just a little bit. It is uncomfortable. It is not taking any HP away. But it's safe to say the source is perhaps in here somewhere. The rest of you just smell everything getting a little bit thicker in here. It takes a moment, but the scent of death eventually does hit your nose. Also with the natural 20, you kind of hear off to your left, that extra little branch off to the side. You hear the clicking of little twigs, but the way it's echoing, it is probably a dead end over there. But ahead of you, it definitely, like just the echoing of your splashing footsteps from your whole group, except for Zeroka, who is flying. You hear echoing and not immediately bouncing back, so it does look like it goes deeper. Also, there's nothing dead right in front of you. So it goes deeper.
Not yet, I say, before
That's
turning and
good.
stabbing one of my teammates. No,
Caitlin may adore Mr. Stabby, but is going to very specifically kind of not move like directly next to him because he's also carrying a giant target.
Dude.
Because I very distinctly remember punishing my players for carrying a lantern into a dark cave, and it's like, ah, you're fucked.
You're
so
level
she's not going.
3. We're not that mean yet.
My party was level 1. I didn't care.
Oh,
But
No mercy is the way of the fist.
Yep. How are you going to learn if you never get punished? Ugh. No, she's just going to like not stand that close to him, but it's just going to like try to just. So do we go forward or do we do the side thing first? Because the side thing always tends to lead to a dead end, so there might be loot, as she says to the rest of the party.
I can look for loot. I like loot.
Oh, I've actually brought my loot with me. I say as I pull out my loot.
Hell yeah.
Okay. What's the marching order here? Is you go to the left instead of ahead towards the smell of death.
I think it's better if I stay back with this 30-foot lantern.
Okay.
Xander's feeling good about life right now. He'll take the lead.
You head on forward. Starting to peel itself. There's one different blight up here, and this one doesn't look like it's made out of twigs or thorns, but vines. And it has a much more human-like face to it. A little bit more of an intelligent look in its eyes.
Do it for the vine.
Do it for the vine. Yeah. This is a vine blight. You know them to be slightly more intelligent than the others. But we have hit our time limit for tonight as you are staring into the eyes of a vine blight, we'll say about 50 feet away from you, flanked by another twig blight. The smell of death and decay wafts from the north, along with echoes of more cave. That's where we're going to end.
Huzzah!
Oh.
Surrounded by a horrible, horrible smell. Y'all are going to need baths when you get out of here.
Bold of you to not assume that's not exactly what I'm about to go do.
I mean, same. I've been up since 6. I need to do that and just go the fuck to bed. All right. With that, we are going to call it a night. Everyone have a good night. Everyone sign out. Whatever you want to do to sign out. Jumbled goodbye.
All right.
You leveled up, right?
No, you didn't level up from smashing some piles of sticks. Get out of here.
We're level 20 now.
Oh, hell yeah, we get a level up. Yeah, sorry I wasn't here for the combat, guys. I kind of missed rolling my initiative, and then after that I got distracted by the crit fail and the crit success. But at least the battle went well, and we found some more twig buddies. Anyway, listeners, if you enjoyed what you listened to, give us an email at critsandgrits@gmail.com, or follow us on Facebook and send us a message there. If you send us questions, we'll answer in character. Also, check out some of our friends that have supported us so far. You can follow Tithus on twitch.tv/Tithus, or his podcast, Technicolor Trainwreck. There's also Becky, you can follow on twitch.tv/SugarPuns. And then there's Jess with MomoCon. You can follow MomoCon socials on Facebook, MySpace, Twitter. You can follow Jess on twitch.tv/JessPanda. There's Kyler. You can follow on YouTube at Fishing After 5. And there's Jay, the narrator, the voice. You all love him. You can follow him on twitch.tv/Rush918 or Ducky on twitch.tv/DuckyPlease. Now everyone, oh, yeah, that's right, everyone is gone. I went to get pizzas during combat, and now I'm stuck with all these pizzas.